37F, have 3 kids and my sister, 35F, has 2. My mother bought us all a Disney vacation for Christmas with some of the money she had received from my father's life insurance. It's not booked or anything, still have to agree on dates, which will be another horrible adventure, but we're going in the spring. Mom is paying for absolutely everything: airfare, Disney hotel, park tickets, food, souvenirs, you name it. All expenses paid. We got a few Christmas gifts from my mother, but not as many as normal. When she brought out the envelope, she handed it to my little sister, who opened it. Inside it was a little certificate my mother had made that said all expenses paid for my daughter's families to Disney World. My sister read it out to everyone. The kids erupted, as I'm sure you can imagine they would. They were thrilled. But my sister has been acting insane since Christmas. She says our mother is showing favoritism to me because she is buying me more. When I asked what she meant, she said that our mother should be giving her the cost of all the things she spends on my 3rd child that she doesn't have. I actually laughed because I thought she was joking at first because it seemed so ridiculous, but that enraged her. She legitimately thinks my mother is playing favorites because mom is paying for both sets of kids and I have one more kid than her. So, apparently, she should get cash for the extra my mom was spending on me, or I should just leave my son home and only bring the twins so it is even. I finally had it and said she was a greedy delusional bitch if she thought my son should be unincluded just because I had one more kid than her, and that the gifts clearly weren't for us, they were for the kids, and each kid was included. This is where I may have overstepped, but I was furious. Am I the a-hole? My mother thinks I should apologize, but I think my sister should apologize.
I, 17 male, will be coming into a large amount of money when I turn 18. This is money that my mom, who died when I was 7, and my maternal grandparents accumulated for me since I was born. I won't say the exact amount, but it's between $500,000 and $1 million. The reason it's that much is my grandparents ran a successful business for many years and they sold it 18 months ago and all money from that sale went to me. They kept none of it. My grandparents have control over all of it currently. Before my mom died, she left them in charge of the account where she was saving. She was married to my dad at the time but had wanted to secure my future in case anything happened, like dad remarrying and having additional kids. She didn't want to run the risk that once she was gone her money could be used for someone who wasn't her kid. My dad knew some money had been saved for me by mom but was never aware of how much or little it was. He also had no idea my grandparents continued saving for me. My grandparents told me about the money over a year ago. They wanted me to prepare for my future and to know I would have so many options because of the money available to me. They also mentioned it never bringing back my mom but could alleviate the burden of becoming an adult. So here's the deal. My dad did remarry. He has a stepdaughter, 16, and a son, 5, with his current wife. They are not wealthy and my dad's wife has prepared her daughter to try and work hard for scholarships and financial aid to get into college, because she wants to study to become a lawyer, I think. My dad had similar conversations with me and had sat me down a few times since I learned of the money's existence to figure out what our plans would be. Eventually I told him it wasn't going to be a big concern and I told him about the money. He was like, what the F, and then he told his wife and they apparently went what the F together and told me I could be gracious and split the money when I get it between the 3 of us and give the other 2 a chance to have a decent helping hand with college. I told them I would not be sharing it because it was created by my family, not theirs. Dad's wife argued that it would be incredibly selfish to take such a large amount of money and blow it all on myself when I have 2 siblings who could also benefit in major ways from it. My dad told me even giving some of it to them, not a full split, but some money I have left at the end, would be amazing and would help my family out a lot. I told him I wasn't going to. They are so not happy with me. They told me that being selfish with this is not a good way to be. My dad is also pissed that he continued saving for me and diving things equally between the 3 of us when I have so much I'll have access to in a few months. Am I the a-hole? I, 35 male, have been with Abby, 35F, for 13 years now. I love her more day by day and we're expecting our first baby. For the holidays we always stay 2 to 3 months visiting her family. The problem is that this year all the family was really excited saying that Alan is coming. I'd never heard of him so I thought it was just some cousin. But the famous Alan was my wife's ex and first love. He lives in Europe but Abby's family still have contact with him and even invited him now that he's in the country. I tried to get along with him but he just ignores me and takes every chance to get closer with my wife by joking or talking about the past. I didn't take it personally but lately he has been coming every day to visit the family. And they started comparing his accomplishments to mine. They're all big fans of Alan and I honestly feel jealous of that because they're treating him better than me. 2 days ago I heard her mom and brother talking about how nice it would have been for Abby to stay with Alan because he's a smart man. What hurt me the most was hearing the brother say that he can try to get Alan and Abby back together and my mother just laughed saying that it would be good to go on a trip to Europe every year and not to the countryside with a peasant. Talking about me because I live in a farm with my wife because she always dreamed to live in that kind of quiet place. In fact, now that I'm no longer blindfolded, I'm starting to notice how the brother makes too many comments to my wife about how great Alan is although Abby never says kind things about Alan and I think she even treats Alan like he's a child. I don't want to stay here knowing that they see me as a dumb peasant. But my wife only sees her family these months of the year and I don't want to ruin that or put that kind of stress on her since she's preg. Should I tell her the truth? My 34 stepdaughter, 19, and I are very close. Her boyfriend, 20, doesn't like that. Alright, so let's get the obvious out of the way. Yes, she calls me dad. I've been in her life since she was 11. Yes, the age difference is weird for a lot of people. My wife is 40 and she had a kid. Sue me. Lastly, I am in no way attracted to my daughter. She's a pretty girl, but that's my kid. Now we can begin. My daughter and I are very close. She'd never had a decent male figure in her life at the time I met her, and I knew that if I wanted to pursue a relationship with my now wife that I should do everything I could to fill the role, so I did. I helped with homework, I played games with her, watched shows or YouTubers she was into, read her favorite books, etc., because I wanted to build a solid relationship with her. Turns out, if you treat things like they're important, sometimes they go well. She and I spend a lot of time together, and our family doesn't really have big touch barriers, so hugs, cheek kisses, sometimes she'll use me as a pillow, etc. All of this is very common, and she does the same with my wife. I love you is said probably 50 plus times a day in my house. We are affectionate, that's the picture I'm trying to paint here. Very recently, she started dating. Her boyfriend doesn't appreciate that we're comfortable with expressing our affection toward each other, even going so far as to ask me to tone it down when he's around. In private, my daughter doesn't know this yet. I want to respect my daughter's new relationship, because this is a new and exciting thing for her and I'm genuinely happy for her, but I also don't want to lose the connection I've spent so long building, and I don't think I should be made to pretend it's less important to me just because she's dating someone that happens to be a little insecure. I can understand where the guy is coming from, but I don't think he really has a right to interject here. The dilemma is this: should I tone it down as requested? Should I continue on as normal? Or should I tell my daughter about the request and let her handle it however she sees fit? Honestly, not sure what the right move is. I am 18, am the middle child out of 6 children. That's 25, 22, me, 16, then 14. Growing up, we pulled pranks on each other all the time. Once my sister Libby and my brother CJ filled my bedroom from floor to ceiling while I was at school. Harmless jokes aren't new to us. The youngest sister Vicky has never really been into pranks. Vicky was diagnosed with schizophrenia last year. The doctors say we were lucky to catch her symptoms early on. She was also recently diagnosed with high-functioning autism. At times I think she's overreacting. Like when she's telling us to turn our music down because she's overstimulated or something. My brother's 16th birthday was 2 months ago. Let's call him Kyle. The way our master bathroom works is the toilet is separated with another room. I knew on his birthday he'd be up all night playing Dead of Daylight. I hid in the shower before Kyle went to take his nightly crap. Once he got comfortable on the toilet, I busted through with confetti cannons. He thought the prank was hysterical. Last week I thought I could pull the same prank on Vicky. She's always complaining how she feels disconnected from the family anyways. While she was in the shower, I would hide in the bathroom. Kyle thought it would be fine. So as she was showering I started to make ominous noises. Nothing harmful, just banging and whispering. After 7 to 8 minutes of this the water stopped. I heard Vicky began to sob. I heard her get out the shower, throw on a towel, and fall to the floor hyperventilating. I would have gotten out of the bathroom, but I was committed to the joke. After 20 minutes she put on her clothes and left the bathroom. She didn't leave her room for the rest of the night. My mom was really worried for her. She kept asking her what was wrong, but Vicky never would respond. Kyle then snitched. He told my mom that I pretended to be her schizo hallucinations. My mom was infuriated, but my dad thought it was funny so I didn't get grounded. Now, my eldest sister and brother aren't speaking to me. Vicky isn't talking to me either. I'm not sure if I should apologize or how to. Am I the a-hole?